Good evening, and thank you for joining us on another episode of A Conversation with a Single Mother. Nasi Ginasi Vela, it's always Nasi in this studio. I told you that I will never give up on you single mothers, and I promise, and I promise that I will never ever give up on you guys. I am here for you, and these episodes are still going to be here every second week of the month or every fortnight at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. So look out for these conversations. Look out on my page and on our Conversation with a Single Mother or Comfort a Single Mother page for these conversations, because we are not giving up on a single mother. We all know that in South Africa, 60% of our children are raised by single mothers, or they are raised in single parented households. And 40% of our mothers are single mothers. And because of that, we have committed ourselves that we are going to help a single mother become self-sustainable and become whole through this program and also our mentorship program. We know the many challenges that single mothers face, from the fact that our correctional services are full of men and women who grew up in broken families. And if you check how these broken families are made up, you will realize that most of these families are made up of just the mother. We know that fatherlessness is a pandemic in the whole world. We know that fatherlessness is a problem in the whole world, and it's the primary reason why we have many social ills. So that is the first challenge that most single mother-headed households or single parents face, having to raise a child in a very stable home. So we have come up with a program that will help a single mother become well-rounded so that she can raise her children well. Because we believe that when you empower a mother, you empower an entire generation. So many other challenges like finances, single mothers go through the most, having to raise children on their own and having to be the primary caregivers in their households, having to strive for finances to raise their kids. Most of the time you find that these households, they eat from hand to mouth, because that is the only way out for them. I mean, from having to, explain certain things to your children. I mean, I'm raising an 8-year-old who will constantly come home and say, "Mommy, why don't I have a dad in the house?" Those are some of the challenges that single mothers face, and that is why we have created this program to help single mothers become self-sustainable and to become whole, because we know that single mothers go through the most. Single mothers are pained. Most single mothers are pained. That is why today we have the term baby mama, because pain, anger, rejection has been associated with single parenting. And sometimes it is true, because sometimes our backgrounds determine how we react to life, how we were raised, the experiences that we went through as children, what our mental disposition, our psychology was exposed to, determines how we deal with life. Just this week, the Lord was telling me that a lot of single mothers are pained. A lot of single mothers are pained, and I think I can resonate with the pain, because I am a single mother myself. I could resonate with the pain, because pain is there for everyone. Pain is there for everyone, but the Lord was making me aware that the pain that single mothers go through need to be managed. Hence, He has propelled me to start this program and run with this program to help single mothers. Pain is necessary in our walk of life. Pain is necessary for our success. Pain is necessary for our victory and our promotion, but pain must be managed. If pain is not managed, it leads to low self-esteem. When pain is not managed, you won't become confident with yourself. When pain is not managed, you cannot be productive. You cannot be efficient in your life. So pain must be managed. And I want to take you back to what Jesus did in the Garden of Gethsemane. When we think about Christ, we usually think Christ was God and He was just walking this earth like a God, and he never really could relate with what human beings go through. Jesus was a human being like you and me. In the book of Hebrews, Christ, or the Bible says that our high priest understands or was tempted just like we are tempted. That means that when he walked the earth, he felt the pain like we did. He could get hungry like we do get hungry. He could get tired like we get tired. So when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he had to decide whether he was going with a calling or he was not going with the assignment, the man went through mental agony. He went through psychological striving. He had to go through some battle, or he had to go through the battlefield of the mind, which we all go through. All of us. Every successful person will tell you, I have had my moments of battling, of striving in my mind. So Jesus was in the garden striving to an extent that the Word of God describes how he even sweated blood. That's how stressed he was. And that's what happens to all of us when we agonize. When you agonize, it's either you are just going to be so tired, or you are just going to, you can even lose your appetite when you agonize. So Jesus was agonizing. He was feeling this heaviness on him, which he needed to make a decision on. And at that moment, Jesus even asked God, or told God, Lord, if it is possible, allow this cup to pass from me. I don't want to do this anymore. I can just imagine how most of us, when we go through pain, we don't want to proceed with the assignment. We don't want to proceed with the thing that we have to proceed with. So Jesus at that point asked God to take the cup away from him, to remove the cup away from him, because it was just too much. But for me, I'm not really focused on the magnitude of the pain. I'm more focused on the fact that Jesus, being God, being sovereign, could go through the same emotions that we go through. And that gives me comfort that I can rely on him, because he has gone through what I've gone through. And guess what? After he asked God 3 times that, God, take this cup away from me, the Lord strengthened him for the next dimension of his calling. Pain is necessary. At the next dimension of his calling, when now he had to go through the manifestation of the psychological pain that he went through in the garden, he even came to a point where he said, Father, where are you? Why is it like you are no longer with me? Why is it like you have left me? That's how painful the process was for him. But that is not the message that I'm trying to, I'm not trying to magnify the pain. I'm trying to show you that Jesus went through pain like you and me. And that pain was necessary for him to become the epitome of life. Had it not been for that pain, Jesus would have never have died. Jesus would have never have resurrected. Jesus would have never have become the epitome of life that he is today. So I want to show you that pain is very much necessary. Pain is necessary, but you must know how to manage it. And that is why I have designed a program together with my partners called a mentorship program for single mothers, or Comfort as Single Mother mentorship program. I'll be working with various mentors to help single mothers become self-sustainable, become whole, and to know how to manage the various challenges that they go through. The first package that we offer is Becoming Whole. In this package, I introduce you to yourself. I introduce you to your identity, because many people are walking on this earth, but they don't really understand who they are. And when you don't understand who you are, you can never become effective. You can never become 100% that person that God has called you to become. So I introduce you to the real you, because I explained in the previous episodes that man is not the physical body. When you see all these posh makeups, these face beads, that is not the real us. There is a real us who is in us. That is why when a man or a woman dies, this body goes back to the ground, but the real person goes to another dimension. So man is not the physical body. Man is a spirit. He has a soul, and he lives in this physical body. So I want to introduce you to the real you, so that when you walk on this earth, you understand who you are, and you know who to invest in, or which dimension of you, or which person within you to invest the most in. So that is our Becoming Whole mentorship package. That is the first one, which is very fundamental to the three I'm going to mention. The other one is the entrepreneurial package. The entrepreneurial package will teach you how to do business, how to seize opportunities in these difficult and trying times, because we are living in very difficult times. These are not times to look for jobs. These are times to identify your niche, to identify your that thing that you can do that nobody else can do, because you are unique. And there is something unique about you that you can offer to the world. So in this entrepreneurial package, we introduce you to that thing that is unique about you that you can use to create a profit for you. Then the other package is your purpose package, where we introduce you to why are you here? Why are you on this earth? Why are you still breathing? All of us have got a purpose. Whether you know it or you don't, you have a purpose. You have a purpose. You have a purpose that God wants you to accomplish. There's a destiny on this earth that God wants you to accomplish. So we help you to map that, to put that on paper so that you can execute it and, start living a life of meaning, or enjoy your life, because there's no way you can enjoy a life when you're not living a life of purpose or your destiny. Then the other package, which is my personal favorite, I love it so much because this is the package that is necessary if we are going to create another generation, a good generation. Intentional parenting. You see, most of us, we've got great visions for our businesses. We've got great missions for our businesses. We've got great mottos. We've got great objectives, strategic objectives and operational objectives for our businesses, but we don't have those for our families. So in our intentional parenting package, we help you to raise your children intentionally. We help you to raise your children purposefully, because it is very important for the next generation. When a mother is well-rounded, when a mother is whole, she is able to raise well-rounded children. When you are happy, your children are happy. When you are full of love, your children feel loved, and they love also. When you are kind, they execute. They will express the kindness to their world. You dictate the aura of your home when you are whole. You decide how your children are going to relate to your world when you are whole. But when you are not, you will raise something that you didn't intend to raise. So we help you in this intentional parenting mentorship program or package to raise your children intentionally, to raise well-rounded citizens who will become assets to our communities in the future. So, but anyways, today I'm going to be speaking more, or we are going to be talking more on the body. You see, as much as, yes, we are not these physical bodies, we are spirits, we have a soul and we live in these physical bodies, we must take care of our bodies. Our bodies are a license for us to operate in this earth. There is no spirit that can operate in this earth without the physical body. So you have to make sure that this body is well, because your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. So when I speak about wholeness, I'm not only talking about psychological things and spiritual things, I'm also talking about your physical body being well too. That is why today I have invited Sis Onika Moloi. She's a health coach. She has a diploma in nutrition. She has a diploma in food services. She has a diploma in health and wellness, and she's got a certificate in herbalism. It's the first time I hear that. She has currently developed a well-researched COVID-19 recovery program that is based on nutrition, mindfulness, indigenous knowledge, and fitness. This package has been seen helping thousands and thousands of people in and out of South Africa to recover at home quickly in the most economical way. So if you are looking for an economical way to recover from COVID-19, you better be watching this program, and you better invite those who you know will benefit from this. A well-rounded activist. Onika Moloi took her courage and just from her many years of political and community activism. She has a name imprinted in the events business community by many years of running a successful events management and catering company. Guys, she's also the former MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture in the Limpopo provincial government. This woman is a powerhouse. This woman is just doing the most. This woman is victorious. She is just prepared, guys. If there is one resilient woman that I've been following, is this one. I mean, I used to check her Facebook pages when, back in the days before now, I used to check her Facebook page while she was still the MEC. I used to look up to her. I used to think, this beautiful girl with short hair, you know, she just looked good. Short hair, but still looks good. African hair, but still looks good. In a suit, she just looked so amazing. So I used to follow her. And to be honest, I derived a lot of inspiration from this woman. And I think up until today, she has not proven to me that she's not what I thought she is. So let's welcome Sis Onika Moloi. Hi, Sis Onika, how are you? And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us on Comfort as Single Mother. Thank you for comforting single mothers. How is Durban? Are you in Durban or in Joburg? Where are you?
I'm in Pretoria. I was working, so I'm this side of town.
Okay. So because a conversation with a single mother is chaired by Mulubedu, do you know how to speak Kulubedu?
Hey, Mara. You know, my grandmother Kumulobedu, so she speaks pure close.
Seriously?
Mukadina.
Are you for real? So wait, Yo, thank you so much for joining us, Sis Onika, on a conversation with a single mother. Sis Onika, we are mentoring single mothers, and we just want to inspire single mothers. I want to be inspired myself. I've always watched your life. I've watched you while you were still the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture. You've just always been an inspiration for me. I remember meeting you at one of the retailers, and I was just, I couldn't hold myself. I said, hey, hi. And, you know, you were so receptive and so friendly. And I just really, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, I feel like such a snob.
No, but you were so friendly. And it was sort of like a dream come true for me, because I was watching you on Facebook. Every time I wanted to draw some inspiration, I would go to Facebook to check. MEC today, how is she dressed, her hair? Because your hair inspired me the most. You know, you hardly find women in short hair and corporate wear looking so good. You get me? So you've really made African hair look so fashionable, I'm telling you.
You saw that I'm inspired Poppy, I'm inspired Tebinkadime, I'm inspired. Yeah, I've inspired a lot of people. But in the beginning, I remember when I was supposed to go take an official pictures in MEC. Yeah. So they sent Donald Slamlele and this lady, Mam Regina, in protocol, and they asked them to come talk to me that I must comb my hair because I'm going to take, you know, these pictures that they put in the offices, you know? So I said, no, you're going to have to take me a picture like this is who I am, this is my hair. And they're like, no, just copy for the official pictures. Like, if you don't want to take me a picture like this, then leave it. I don't need to have my picture hung on the wall anyway. So they had to, if you check my official picture, I had to go and curl my natural hair just to look a bit presentable, because I did not want to look like I'm stubborn.
But we love the African hair. We love the short hair. It's you. We adore it. That's your look. That is your niche. Sis Onika, tell us a bit about yourself, just to inspire us. Who is Sis Onika Moloi? Who is she?
Onika is a young girl who was born in Seshego. I went to primary school, high school. Can you believe I even went to college? Seshego, at FET in Seshego. That's when I started to be a chef in 1999. And from there, I started my catering business in 2003, which evolved to be an events management business. Yeah. So I think I did that, simultaneously with, being active in politics. Yeah. And I was very active in student politics in SASCO. I was a treasurer of SASCO in the province at some point. I think it was in 2002. And then later the ANC Youth League. We were in the provincial executive committee where we had David Masondo, Julius Malema, Joshua Matlo, and many other comrades, and so forth. So that's where I think my real youth, political activism started. And then, then later on, I went to be an MPL in 2014, and then I became an MEC in 2016. But I continued to be a businesswoman. I never stopped being a businesswoman. Even when I was in MPL, I continued to, run my business. And I'm a mother of 3. I've got 3 biological kids, and I've got 2 kids that are not of mine, but they're my children. And I'm a grandson. I've got a grandson, Oleseko. So yeah. So now I'm running my Ben's business. I've opened up a restaurant in Durban, Green Lounge, and I'm operating Green Bar here in Joburg and in Polokwane. Elsewhere, we deliver. Green Bars can get it everywhere across the country. So that's basically what I'm doing and who I am. Wow. And I love God. I love the Lord. And that's something that I need to be, emphasize that I think if it was not because of God, I don't know, where would I be? So one thing that I do and very firm on, it's my Christian life that I've been very, 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 very clear about. And this is actually, since I left the office of being an MEC in 2018, that's something that I really went back, full time just to go and be in ministry. You see, I always share the word of God on social media, inspiring people, because I believe that, it is through God that we can live our, our fruitful, purposeful lives.
And I think that's what inspired me when I looked at your life, because I realized that you are a well-rounded, person. You'll have to excuse me, but I think I was a bit of a stalker, because I watched your life. I saw that you love God. You are a businesswoman. You are in politics. You are a leader. You are a mother. And, that for me was an inspiration, because I think all of us, we strive to be effective or productive in the different positions or leadership positions where God puts us. But, you are just such an inspiration. You are such an inspiration. So what inspired your business journey? Why did you venture into business? Because I know that you are a serial entrepreneur. You've been in business while you were in politics. I mean, that is very much inspirational. You don't get that a lot, eh?
Yeah, I don't. I grew up when the family I was born at. Mukadi wanoiki mucheleting tiwarekesha jwala basotho, right? Kiteleti kukwabumma, because when I was born, they buried her on Saturday, and I was born on Wednesday. Yeah. So that's why they gave me the name Onika. She was Onika Mukadi. So the barekesha jwala basotho. So later on, when we started to modernize, then my grandmother started to sell beers and lustros and ice blocks. Yeah. So one thing that they'll do, I think I was around age of 6, 7. We knew that we had tents with my cousins and my aunt that a bit younger. So alternating weekends. So we know that on a particular Saturday you don't go play; it's your weekend to sell. So you have to sell. You have to manage stock. You have to make sure that the profit we submit a kai. And then when I went to high school, I was selling Mazima chips to high school. The knickknacks, those ones in a plastic for 50 cents. Yeah. So and I was very entrepreneurial and very disciplined, because after school I will get into a taxi. Yeah. I'll go Indian Center, go buy, stock, and then come back to still do my homeworks and still do, my chores. But then I'll keep off December, black in that big. Then when I carry my school bag, and I carry the bag of Zimba chips to school. So you remember we used to have short breaks. I don't know if they still have that for 15 minutes. Yeah. So that will be the time when I will sell Zimba chips, and I'll be stocked out. I mean, I did that when I was in, it's grade 10 now, standard 8, 9, and 10, grade 10, 11, and 12. Yeah. So every day, a short break, that 15 minutes, you needed to be very diligent and very clear, even with the change. I would sell the whole bag of Zimba cheese, probably they were around 50 and that was what I would do during short breaks. So I did not have time to go play and be like other kids, but I was very entrepreneurial, very focused, and that money was not my money, it was the family money. So my grandmother would give us stock, and then we would go, and then when you come back home, we check, okay, you sold for this much, and then they give you money to go buy, then they keep the profit. So I think I learned, the accounting at that level. And my grandmother always said to us, and this is even now when we're already at this age, she will always say, everyone has 10,000. So meaning we have like 10 fingers. So there's no one who does not have a capital. right? That is why I get so mad. Young people, waiting for government to make things happen for them, because we all have a capital. As long as you've got 10,000, which is your, 10 fingers, you can start any business that you want, and you can fund the business that you always wanted, but start somewhere, whether you're going to sell the Zimmer chips or Lost Draw, whatever. It's my grandmother. But I remember when I started catering, I was catering for GNT, Great North Transport. I did not have anything, no cup, no saucer.
Yeah.
So my grandmother had those cups, like that, six. So I was catering for 20 people. So then she gave me those ones, 6, and then the tea, whatever. And that's how I started my business. And now you come to my warehouse, you're like, wow. But we started small. We started small, and I think I think that the entrepreneurial spirit was always, something that I got from my family.
Yeah, I like the fact that you are mentioning that you unyanje the entrepreneurial skill from your biological parents, because sometimes we neglect the fact that our children observe and learn from us, and that is one of the packages, or that is one of the mandates of our conversations and our NPO, Come for the Single Mother. We want to help single mothers to become intentional and purposeful about raising their kids. And when you are intentional, it starts with you. When you are a business person, when you are kind, when you are loving, your kids buy nyanya that thing, and they are able to display it to the world. And this is what happened to you, because unyanje the entrepreneurial skill from your mom, and look at you today. You are a mega businesswoman. And when it comes to I'm actually trying to pick up the point. I also used to sell the Zimba skolong. So this is why I love this woman. We've got something in common.
And let me tell you, like now, my daughter, Mutlajo.
Yes.
Mutlajo urana green bar now.
Yeah.
Like literally, she runs the business, because I said to them, guys, I'm gonna go back to full-time politics sooner or later, even if it's next 5 years. But I don't want to do what I did in 2014. Because what I did when I went to legislature, my business suffered because I didn't have like a succession plan or a plan to say, in my absence, can my business run? So now I'm trying to learn from my mistakes, to say, let me train my kids, let me empower, let me have a team around me, so that if I have to go anywhere, if I have to go, do something different, I know that the business will not suffer. So I agree with you that we need to, have a succession plan for our kids.
Yes.
You need to teach them, to say, you want to run this business. Most of the businesses in the communities, you remember, because the people who started the company, they died, and then by now they did not care, they did not even know, they were not trained and to run, the businesses. So I wanted that, that particular skill be transferred to my kids, so that they can run business, in my absence. I mean, God forbid, but I'm not here forever.
Yeah, correct. And that's legacy. That is legacy. Yeah. So tell me about Victory. Tell me about Victory Loves Preparation. I love the slogan. I was like, you know what? This woman must just explain to me, what does Victory Loves Preparation mean? And I haven't been to Durban, I haven't been to the Green Lounge, but I saw it on the wall. I'm like, this is very interesting. The next time I go to Durban, I want to visit Green Lounge just to go and experience Victory Loves Preparation. What is that all about?
Yeah. If there's always behind the scene. Yeah. And people don't know. Yes. And people don't want to be identified with behind the scene. People don't want to be part of it, when you get your hands dirty, people don't want to be part of the process. Yeah. And sometimes, like a mother, you are carrying a child by yourself. You can have a husband, even if he can love you to the moon and back and be able to buy you everything, he can't help you carry the baby. And even in that delivery room, even if he can be there and say, baby, push, you are the one who has to carry the pain. Right. So Victory Loves Preparation just means that, there's preparation. Everything needs preparation, right? There's nothing you can achieve without a preparation of some sort. And I've learned that the hard way. You know, that is why I don't forget the slogan, because people now say, I love your slogan. But I had to learn this the hard way, to say, Onika, learn to prepare. You know, I'm inspired by the Joseph in the Bible.
Yes.
You know, that young man. It's very easy for us to believe what God told us, but it's not easy for us to want to go through the process. If you remember, Joseph was told when he was young that he was going to be a leader. Yeah. And then when his brothers sold him, when he arrived in the house of Potiphar, the woman accused him of rape, then he was taken to jail. And that, I mean, he would have said, God, you said I was going to be a leader. What is it that I'm doing in jail? Yeah. Right? Yeah. But he understood that there's going to be a process for him to attain the victory. There's some kind of preparation that needs you to go through. There's a pressing, there's a crushing period, there's a burning period, and people do not want to be part of that. For you to attain the 6-pack that I have, you need to wake up each morning and work out at least a minimum of 45 minutes every day, right? Whether I'm on Facebook, I'm doing live or not, behind the scene. Right? I might not show you all the process, all the sweat, but there is a preparation behind the scene. And I wish people can understand that, because most young people, because of this era of digital, economy that we're living in, everything is fast, everybody has a beautiful body on Instagram, beautiful houses. We love the glitz and love, but what goes behind, what goes into this work, it's something that most people don't wanna be identified with, So that's why victory loves preparation is that victory is certain, right? But there is a process that needs to happen, because God, if all of us were gonna be billionaires, if being a billionaire was easy, we probably would be billionaires, all of us. If having a PhD was easy, we'll be having PhD. But these people don't sleep. You see them in red belts. They don't sleep. They study for 6 hours a day. But young people don't want to be part of that. They want the lease. They want the graduation day. They want the Maserati. They want the house in Sandton. And those things, they come with a price. And I wish that we all can understand that victory
loves preparation. Oh, victory loves preparation. So we must not despise the process. We must not despise the process of crushing, and we should never
be allowed. Don't even cry. Jesus Christ, when he was going through Calvary, carrying the cross and the crown on his head, it was painful. But the Bible says the prayer that was said, he remembered why he was going through the pain. So even though he said, God, if you can let this pass, but then he remembered that the process, we must allow ourselves to go through the process of crushing, of crying, of tears, of sweat. Then the outcome will be greater.
Because without the process, there is no victory.
Know that for what happened at Durban, there were days when I even said, God, maybe this is a wrong. The decision was not the right one. It was very, very emotionally tiring. But I never shared with you on social media. I shared with you me in a flight there, back there, and then the next thing, voila. And then all of us, we love the voila moment. Right? Everybody on Instagram, it's all the voila moment. But the process of conceiving a child and carrying a child for 9 months and going to the labor ward and giving birth to that child and sleepless nights, feeding the child in the evening, nobody wants to be part of that.
Oh wow!
So you want to see the baby, baby, this baby, how the baby came about. We don't want to be part. We don't even want to know.
Sure. So says Onika, are you a single parent? Are you a single mom?
Yes.
Because I'm sure everybody is wondering.
Yes, I'm a single mother.
You're a single mother.
I'm a single mother. Actually, as we're talking now, I was supposed to, be, taking some homework. I'm a single mom, and it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy journey, but it's very fulfilling. Yeah. Especially for me, I'm such an overachiever.
Yeah.
If I have to put it, Yeah, if I do things that I think are impossible, I feel so fulfilled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I always have this adrenaline rush. Like, yeah. So I think that's something that I enjoy doing. It's not easy, but I so much enjoy doing.
Yeah, but coming from a single mother, I'm inspired because if a single mom can do what you do, I mean, then it means anything is possible, you know? Because sometimes we want to hide behind the fact that, I've got kids and I'm alone in this thing, so let me just be secure and be in a job. So you can actually, still run businesses and just be the best of yourself while you are still a single mom. But don't despise the preparation process, which might be a bit painful. But victory is guaranteed. So says it's certain. So says Onika, let's today our topic is health is wealth. I know that you're a health coach. A few nuggets on how to live a healthy lifestyle, especially now during COVID. I mean, we are mothers, these bodies, we need to be well in our bodies, we need to be okay mentally and all that. But our bodies are still very important. That's why we need people like yourselves. Few nuggets of wisdom on how to maintain a healthy lifestyle. What should I do?
All right. Yeah, so I was saying something about healthy living that we need to inculcate in our minds is the fact that it's not an occasion. It's not I'm on a diet. There's COVID, When a car is manufactured, it's manufactured to perform certain functions, whether it is to carry a luggage or it's a taxi to carry people, whatever. But a car is manufactured to perform certain functions. But for that car to perform those functions, there are things that must happen. You must put fuel in the car. You must put water in the car. You must put oil in the car. The car must be washed. The car must be taken to service. What happens if you go to a petrol station and then instead of putting a petrol, you put a diesel? Right? The car stops. They have to then come and drain it and unblock it. What will happen if you don't put water, in your car? It's gonna knock the engine, right? And so forth. So for the car to perform its functions, it needs to be done those things regularly. You don't decide one morning and say, today I'm gonna pour diesel. I don't want petrol. Petrol is expensive, right? So people will say, healthy eating is expensive. I'm gonna drink Fizzy, right? So this body, for it to function, you must understand. As we're sitting here, there are tons and tons of things happening right now. Like the eyes is bleeding. There's the saliva going on in the mouth now as I'm talking. The heart is beating. The oxygen is being taken through parts of the body. That's been transported. The blood is being transported, and everything is happening. The digestion is happening. The liver is detoxing. The brain is busy trying to remind me the thing that I must talk about. So this body is performing those functions, right? And it has to. But for the body to perform a function just like a car, it needs to be fueled properly. Right? It needs vitamins, it needs nutrients, it needs minerals, it needs water. So you don't decide, now I'm on a diet, I'm going to drink water. You don't drink water because you're on a diet. You drink water because your body needs water for it to function. You understand that you are 80% water. Our blood is made up of water. The saliva is made up of water. So if you don't drink water, it's that car that is going to knock engine. So by the time you are 40, you have hot flashes. By the time you're 45, you have renal failures. You have got heart failure. It's that car that has knocked the engine. Remember when the car knocks an engine, all parts, even if you can go fix it, they'll even normally advise me to go sell it because it has knocked engine. It will have all multiple failures. That's why people by the age of 45 these days, they don't even arrive at 50. They've got multiple organ failures because the body has knocked. Right? So once the body has knocked, it's hypertension. Hypertension is a twin sister of diabetes. Diabetes is a brother of kidney failure. Kidney failure is a brother of heart. So we need to understand this thing. It's not a normal thing, and we must not normalize this thing of saying when you are 50, you must go start queue at a clinic for chronic. So we have normalized it, but it's wrong. The body has the capacity to self-heal, self-generate, but we need to help this body with the proper nutrients, with the proper vitamins. So there are 5 things that I normally encourage people to do. First thing, eat nutritional dense food.
Yeah.
Eat food in their original form. Leave the processed food, leave processed sugar, leave all these things, all these things that you find in the shelf, and eat food in their original form. Whether it is the beans, whether it's the fruits or the veggies. Yes, you can have some bit of this and that, but just make sure that be conscious about it to say this body needs the right fuel for it to function.
Yeah.
Number 2, hydrate your body. Like I said, we're 80%. We're 80% water. So we lose water every day, when we're sweating, when we go to the loo and all that. So we need to replenish, because the body without water, it can't function.
Yes.
That's number 2. Number 3, be physically active. I always give this example to say, when you put fuel in the car and you park it, will it burn and provide the necessary energy to the car? If now you go put petrol and go park the car there, the fuel will not serve its purpose.
Yeah,
but the fuel will start to work once the car is in motion.
Yes.
Right. So once you start to zzz, and then all the petrol. That's why after if you had an empty, they'll say start it a bit.
Yeah.
Right. So that the fuel could start now going to other parts of the body. That's what happens. Right. When you exercise, there's circulation. Right, so you're making sure that blood is moving in the proper way. The oxygen is moving, and then the body is made to move. So help it to move. Yeah. That's the third part. The third thing. The fourth thing, sleep. I normally give this example to say I sleep now when I work hard. I sleep 8 hours a day. If I don't sleep in the evening, I nap 2 hours during the day. I literally get into my PJs and leave wherever I am. If I went somewhere for a meeting, I come back home and then I get into the blanket and sleep.
Wow.
When you're sleeping, it's like the municipality.
Yeah.
When we are sleeping in the evening, what do? They change the globes. If you pass a globe that is not working today, tomorrow morning you're gonna find it working.
Yes.
Right? They do it in the evening while we are sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. The cleaning of the town is done in the evening. So this is what happens in your body. When you are sleeping, the body is busy rewiring, re-engineering, the dead cells, being disposed of, detoxing and all that. That is why people don't sleep, their wrinkles, their skin. So downtown. You go Joburg. Milo how ever downtown. How nena kwa ya hore ngurobetse.
That's fine. It's like you downtown on my face.
If you have to live with anything, sleep. Because if you don't sleep, your body becomes a downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown, there's no time to sleep, so there's no time
to
change robots. Yeah, so don't be a downtown. The fifth thing is just to be able to manage, our stress. Yeah. I'm saying to manage because we are all one or the other will be affected by something. Somebody will die that somebody will lose a job. We'll lose a job. Now I run events. We've not been doing events in a lot. So there are things that our kids can stress us. So what happened? You cannot control what happened. What will happen to you, but you can control how you respond to it. Right? The Bible says in the book of Matthew chapter 6, God says, has anyone by worrying ever added a single hair onto their head? Yeah. So what God was trying to say is that after you've worried, has your situation improved? Mm-hmm. After you've worried, have that debit order been paid?
No.
So after you worried, whatever that you're worrying about, it is still there.
Yeah.
So why don't you understand that breathe? You know how it helps just to pause and do breathing exercises.
Yeah.
So, when you finish breathing, the problem will still be there. But trust me, it's not going to affect your health. But when you worry, the problem will be there, but your health will be affected because the body releases the cortisol, a stress hormone. And this is the stress hormone. It suppresses, every system in the body. It suppresses your digestive system. That's why people who have got stress, they will have problems of constipation.
Yeah.
People have stress, they even have ulcers. Just the whole body is just malfunctioning because there is this cortisol, the stress hormone. Give it some talk. It is wreaking havoc in the system. Some people who are stressed, they can't even, conceive because the reproductive system is being suppressed by the cortisol. Some people's skin you just see because the cortisol is causing the wrinkles. Some people will even the hair will fall. And so forth. There are a lot of clients that they're diabetic type 2, and most of them will tell you, I began to have to suffer from diabetes when my husband died, or when my child died.
Yes.
So you hit the relationship. So some people they stress and they have stroke. Because immediately stress can even cause clotting. And many other things. It causes inflammation, So let's make sure that we have coping mechanisms, right? When you are stressed, I work out. It helps because once you work out, the body will release the endorphins, right? The happy hormones. So the happy hormones, they will counter the stress hormone. Right, listen to the music. Today, if you check me on my Instagram, I was dancing. I just woke up and I have my music on. These are the things that not because I'm happy all the time, but I have to make sure that I tell this body how it must respond to my stresses. Because if I don't, it's going to dictate, and it means I must be in bed, I must stress, I must not eat, and all that. So that's the fifth thing. Manage your stress. So quickly, nutrition, eat properly. Drink water, physical activity, sleep, manage your stress.
Wow.
And of course, tobacco, drop it. Tobacco, if you're smoking, drop it immediately. People now who are smoking who have COVID, they don't make it because now there's multiple, harm to the lungs. COVID, remember, it's a lung disease. So when it finds your lungs already, devastated by the smoke, it just finishes you off. So smoking is not worth it. I see these days, if the cigar is an in thing, everybody feels like if I do a cigar, I'm a hip and happening. No, it's not worth it. It's not.
Thank you so much, Sis Onika. Thank you so very much. Oh goodness, I feel like a health coach myself after this conversation. But thank you so much.
I try to give simple examples that will. Yeah.
But that was very good. Thank you so very much, guys. You've heard for yourself. You've heard for yourself. Eat raw food or eat food at its most unprocessed form or in its most unprocessed form. Sleep. Drink water. Don't stress. Don't smoke. Don't try to be fashionable with those cigars. They won't really help you. They won't really help you. Guys, you've heard for yourself. Victory loves preparation. That for me was the highlight. No matter what you go through, trust me, your victory is assured. And that process is just there to refine you and to make you that thing that you are supposed to be. And by the way, we were getting this advice from a single mom. We were getting it from a single mom, and a single mom who is well-rounded, who is not downtrodden or who doesn't feel embarrassed about her current position, but because she understands that, her anchor is Christ himself. So please follow her on her Facebook, her Instagram page. I'm telling you, you'll be inspired. I follow her myself. I continue following her because I'm just inspired by her life. I'm inspired. She calls herself the pure one, Mokhekulwana, the national Mokhekulwana. She's a granny but looks mwah.
They must say international now, so I'm an international Mokhekulwana.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yes, the international Mokhekulwana. The international Mokhekulwana. And today I got to learn Mokadi. So that one also is just the tip on the iceberg, the cherry on top. So ladies, don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at Comfort a Single Mother. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight. Goodbye. Ta-da.